an amazing property, but it will have a very difficult time to sell, and I will tell you why. First, you should know that this is where they lived in season 3, and it's about 4 or 5 parcels assembled together right at the border of Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. Now, 99% of the property is in LA, but 1% of it is in Beverly Hills. And for that 1%, they can claim Beverly Hills and get the fire department and the police department of Beverly Hills. It's kind of like Turkey or Turkey, where 99% of the country is in Asia, but half of Istanbul is in Europe, and they claim Europe. Now, it has about $24.5 million of debt on it, but that's not the important part. The most important part over here is that Sierra Towers, one of the most famous buildings in Los Angeles, towers right in front of it. It's a major, major privacy issue.
Movie phone says it's a 2:30 in Northridge.
Valley, what are you, crazy? It's gonna reach 100 degrees in the city today.
Vince wants to go to an out-of-the-way place.
Vince, you know my policy. Except for work, I only go to the Valley November through March. And even then, only the sushi roll.
Okay, Valley is significantly warmer than mainland Los Angeles, and that actually correlates with home prices in the Valley being less expensive. But it's not the only thing that correlates. I'll tell you guys more about it later in the video.
Not even 10 a.m. and it's burning up out there.
I know. My widget says it's 96 already.
The f***'s a widget? Why are you sitting like that? Seriously, what are you wearing, a butt plug?
Okay, this office layout tells me that they have a very collaborative culture in this office. And if you're a real estate agent interviewing at a brokerage, this is what you should pay attention to, because, you know, talent agencies, sport agencies, and real estate agencies are very similar in, you know, office layout and culture and the way the businesses are structured. In this layout, all the assistants are sitting right next to each other. And in my experience, assistants talk all the time. They share information. They gossip, right? They sit down next to each other, and there's a lot of information going back and forth. And that's not always what the actual agents desire. Sometimes they want to be very, very private. They, you know, they're all 1099 agents, right? They're competing with each other at the same time. So this is really collaborative culture. I've seen different layouts where the assistant has an office within the office of the agent, or the assistant has a, you know, desk right outside the office of the agent. So this is one of the things you should pay attention to see what kind of environment fits you.
We're going to the Valley, drama, not the Sahara.
Hey, don't kid yourself, E. North of Ventura Boulevard is Hell's Waiting Room.
Okay, let me give you an example. If the Valley is 110 degrees, Beverly Hills would be 95 degrees, and let's say Venice Beach would be 85 degrees. Now, there's definitely a correlation between home values and the temperature of each neighborhood, but it's not the only thing that correlates. What even correlates more is how far away you are from the entertainment center and offices. Now, to prove my point, is that home values in the Valley appreciated at a faster pace than mainland LA because people didn't have to go to the office.
The movie gods are smiling on us today.
Well, I mean, it's still early. We can do better, right?
I thought I was greedy. Listen, the over and under is 95. We hit 100, I got wood.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, Spider-Man did what? 114? Is there any way we can beat that?
Spider-Man? Who said anything about Spider-Man? Tell me that Vinny doesn't think that we're gonna beat the biggest opening in movie history. I tell you what. Manage your client's expectations.
Okay, there's some truth to that in residential real estate negotiations. You should manage your client's expectations as to just not speculate, right? You should play your own cards, play your own hand, put the best offer that fits your client, and you will have plenty of time to strategize when you get a counter back, right? Don't speculate on what they're going to answer and everything. Just play your own cards, strategize on what's best for your own client. And when you get a counter, you have plenty of time, you know, typically 3 days, to think about what they want to get out of the deal and try to make the deal happen based on the current information that you're 100% sure about.
Ari, we all good?
I thought you're not worried about that stuff.
I'm not. In fact, I don't want to know anything till it's official.
And that's true with counting your commissions too as a real estate agent. Don't ever count your commission. That really messes up with your head. It takes the attention away from the deal and what's best for your client and thinking about yourself. The moment you start thinking about yourself and how the financial rewards of that transaction is going to affect you, I'll promise you will mess up the deal. Don't do that.
Hey, pal. You want to sit down? You're about to miss the best part of the whole movie.
I have to use the bathroom.
Sit down.
All right, here's Santa Monica Pier, Santa Monica Beach, and Venice Beach. Now, during the homeless crisis, homeless people had this figured out. they would hang out and camp right at the border of Los Angeles and Santa Monica. Yes, Santa Monica, it's its own city. And the cops in Santa Monica cannot enforce the law in Los Angeles and vice versa. So the homeless people had this figured out. They would just camp right on the line and they would switch side depending which authorities were coming after them. Now, about 80% of the homeless are gone, living in luxury hotels right now. But, it's much better. Good news doesn't make the news. But yeah, the homeless situation is still there. But at least in Venice Beach and Santa Monica is, about 80% better than the worst it was, let's say, in 2021, 2022.
Okay, well, so, after the year that I've had and on the most important day of my life, you think that she would ask me what I wanted, a nice blowjob perhaps, and pray that this fucking movie opens so I can stop selling off assets like we're fucking Michael Jackson, all right? Now I have to answer the bat phone when it rings 3 fucking times and it's fucking Vince, okay? So...
Okay, you don't have to answer the phone. Now, if you're a brand new agent and you don't have any value to give to your clients except your time, you might, that's your, only card, you might have to. But if you're at all even getting just established or have some sort of authority over the market you're serving, there's a really easy way to get around this. When you're getting hired as a listing agent or a buyer agent, right? In the meeting, when you do your spiel why you're the greatest and the best thing they've ever seen since, the moon landing, you just say, look, from 6 p.m. and on, I don't answer my phone. This is the time I spent with my family. Now, that doesn't mean you can't text me. If you have something in your mind and you want to offload, feel free to text me, but don't expect an answer from me till the next day. Again, it's setting up the expectations during the interview process, and for that, your client will actually respect you more and would know that your time is valuable. The time you spend with your family is something sacred, and he cannot approach that time. Once you set that up right off the bat, it will help you get the listing or the relationship or the contract, and you will have the time free to spend with your family without creating, marriageable problem between husbands and wives.
It's a blackout, baby! Into the pool!
Okay, this is a very typical one-story ranch house in Southern California. You can find it almost everywhere. And if it was in the valley, it would be worth somewhere between $1.5 to $2.5 million, depending on the location and finishes. And if it was in mainland Los Angeles, it would be somewhere between $3 to $4.5 million.
Look at these kids. I mean, this used to be us. Remember we used to talk about coming out to Hollywood? It wasn't about money. All right.
Blackouts!
Okay, in the movie, they claim Ari Gold's house is in Beverly Hills, but it's actually in Los Angeles. Now, architectural style of this property, I would say, it's a East Coast traditional, you can say colonial revival. But in another episode, which I'm going to do for Entourage, kind of the best of Ari Gold, I will cover this house, in depth. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel and you will see it very soon.